Well. Let's see how things are looking. Hopefully, this time we won't have any problems having our guest call in. Last time I was trying to initiate the call-in, and it was lagging, and so it would show the subtitles, but the audio wasn't synced up, and I was like, what's going on here? So I had to restart it like 5 times, and it just was very sloppy looking. But yeah, make sure all our bit rates are good before we get started. Everything looks good here so far. So in case anyone's missed it, lately we've had a special guest on the show, the East Area Rappist. Last time, Murder Inc., my wife says hello to you, by the way. And we had the East Area Rappist come on to the show last time. And while that song was cut short, we're hoping that everything works out this time. So if you're with us here, stand by, put your hands together for the East Area Rappist. What's going on? Okay, hold on. Oh, I forgot. I have to do a couple things that I was being stupid about. Whoops. See, this is what usually happens. Pero, that's okay, because, oh my god, hopefully you guys don't hear that. Just go back to the beginning if we're allowed to. No? Okay. Project 3, Advanced Audio Properties. We're going to do, let's see, monitor, mute output. Okay, I think that's how we do it. Whoops. How did that work last time? So you go like this, and hold on. Okay, and stop. Alright. And then unmute. Okay, everyone, put your hands together for the East Area Rappist. Let's doing it again.
County jail cause they ain't got junk food. Them bitches took the laces from my goddamn shoes. They tried to take my ski mask, they tried to make me plead guilty to the crimes in the 1st degree. You're never gonna catch me, you dumb fuckers. I'm a
Well, it seems we've lost the East Area Rappist. I think this time permanently. Initial reports are at this time that the East Area Rappist has been assassinated. Oh, yeah. The East Area Rappist has been assassinated. I can't say any of us are particularly upset about this sequence of developments, but yeah, you know, you guys, it's a lot like Seinfeld. When you have a good bit, when you have a good thing, kill it off before it gets stupid. You know, last time he got raided and that was fun. This time he's been assassinated, and that's the last appearance of the East Area Rappist on this show. So let's see what we're going on here with today. Interview with the ASS DA, or that's the assistant DA, says they found where he had buried something in the yard. This corroborates what his nephew said about burying mason jars there. Interesting. What was buried there? Do we have information on that? I would love to get a copy of this book, by the way. And I'm just kind of waiting for the opportunity to basically get the money for it, and then I'm going to buy it. Their other option is that I could do something sneaky and get it. But if I do something sneaky, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Murder Inc. Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Because part of it is that I don't really want to pay these people who lied to us about this case for so long, and who continue to withhold information, instead allowing holdback evidence to trickle out for profiteering purposes. But yeah, so that's where I was going with that. If I do sponsoring where cops can't profit from crimes. Oh, that's cool. Is that a real thing? Wow. The Paul Holes bill, a bill where cops can't profit from their from crimes. I like the idea behind that. And yeah, I totally agree. That's one of the main reasons why I don't want to buy a copy of that book. So if I do something sneaky, you guys, I'm just not going to tell you where and when I'm going to do it. And you'll know if I show up here with a copy of the book on the stream. I might even claim that I paid for it, so as to not allow the government to perform asset forfeiture of NUKE HOAX. Let's see. Yeah, I would like to know what was buried on the D'Angelo property. Did they say? Because this is the thing. I don't like... Oh, let me take this stupid Zodiac Killer thing off of here. I forgot it was there. Sorry, everybody. I don't like when they're letting this holdback information sort of trickle out and they're just making a dime for it. I'm not in support of that shit. And, you know, how about you just tell us what the fuck happened? Especially because the nature of these crimes is... You guys remember on SVU and it's like, these heinous crimes. Like, that's the epitome of Eurons. The Eurons is the epitome of heinous crimes. So to try to make some money by selling a book about how you caught him and what happened, it's like, you know. Heard golden jewelry, but that's not from DA. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. This is one thing that I did here in the aftermath of the D'Angelo arrest. You know, of course, I didn't know about any of this stuff. You have to buy the book to find out. That is disgusting. So hopefully somebody just leaks all this information. Yeah. Let's see if it's available on the Pirate Bay yet, and if it is, I will sponsor that. I will share that link with you guys. Let's see here. Let's do Thien Ho on the Pirate Bay. See if we can get something. Nope, that's a movie. Let's try Golden State Killer, which is the stupidest fucking name ever. Golden State Killer. Come on. No, they just don't have it yet. So it's on the Pirate Bay. Let's see if we can find it anywhere else. People versus the Golden State Killer. People versus the bleep. The people versus... And let's see. I think it's just a little early. Usually that won't happen yet. So, I also emailed someone to try to get a free legal copy of the book. Well, I don't want a legal copy. I want an illegal copy of the book. You understand? So, let's see if we can find that. Hundreds of facts and details. Hundreds of facts and details never released to the public. What have we heard so far? He brought Dr. Pepper to the crime scenes. And he might have had something buried in his backyard. That is all that we have so far. Wow, Paul Holes writes a riveting behind-the-scenes account about the investigation, capture, and prosecution. Here is something. Yeah, what information do we have right now? Do we have anything yet going on around? We all know the East Area Rappist was assassinated live on this stream, so he won't be able to tell us himself. But, yeah. I almost want to watch that again. It's so classic. It's so funny. Let me take you behind the scenes of how that went down, actually. The cops said the MO holdback was stolen photo of intended victim. Now check this out. MO holdback was stolen photo of intended victim. Huh. Well, we already knew that, though. Don't we already know that information? We know he was raiding photo albums and stuff. So it's not really that that's nothing shocking. In fact, I wouldn't even use that piece of information to try to determine whether a crime is connected to EAR, because all kinds of rapists would do something like that. It's totally normal for them. So I think that there's more. It could be the Dr. Pepper. That's rare. You know, not every serial rapist brings Dr. Pepper to their crime scenes, and so if that's what they were using to determine EAR crimes, then that would make sense. They just need to tell us everything. I mean, this is insane, man. Oh, you have to wait 7 years and then buy my book. It's like, go fuck yourself. Dr. Pepper, I don't think we knew that. I'd never heard that anywhere. Let's find out. Did we know that? If we knew that, then fuck, we don't have anything new. And that would be the end of my... We have almost nothing new. Can someone get this fucking book already and tell us everything that's in it? Dr. Pepper. On Pro Boards. If it ain't on Pro Boards, it never happened. That's the way I think. I am not a robot. Submit. Huh. Did we know about this? If I were JJD... Do we know about this? Oh, well, this is from shortly after the arrest. MSW 123 on Pro Boards, April 30th, 2018 says, Disclosure, I'm new to the Iran's GSK community, but in listening to the Case File and Criminology podcast, specific brands that stick out are Dr. Pepper, Schlitz, and Coors Light. Various bottles of these beverages were found in the yards of the crime scenes and in the neighborhoods he stalked. I guess that some of that information was released then. I'd never heard it, but, Oh. I think you're right about that. I think we already knew. So there probably isn't any holdback information in the fucking thing. Yeah, it is, and I'll throw in a bottle of Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I mean, the problem with Lepke being Iran's is that he's been online since the arrest. That's a big problem with that. So I don't think Lepke's Iran's. It's possible. I mean, is there any actual holdback in this fucking book, or are they just trying to sell copies? That's what I want to know. I don't know. How annoying. It's like, how do you, like, what? This is crazy. You think the FBI runs the Iran's board? Yeah, I mean, that's possible. Oh, that they might have logged in for... I mean, maybe. Lepke was pretty active, though. They killed all discussion and research. What I think really killed all discussion and research is the arrest. Once he got arrested, everyone was like, okay, we can go home. That was it. And on one hand, it makes sense. But there's actual researchers out there like us that, like, continue digging into what happened. Because that doesn't actually mean that we know everything. I think it's the most fascinating serial killer case in history, though. By far. None of the other ones that I've found so far are even remotely as mind-blowing. No, they banned new members for a long time. No one can sign up without being approved now. Well, I have an account there. On Pro Boards. I made one there. I don't know. Who knows? they've done that with Zodiac. You can't join the Zodiac Reddit anymore, by the way. You can't. I've tried. You just aren't allowed. Which is weird. I don't know when that started. I used to be allowed to be on there. And then Doc Danica, who's the biggest scumbag in the history of the United States, or wherever shithole he's from, basically won't let me because he knows that I'm going to pwn him at Logic. The same mods run Eron, Zodiac, and Lisk. Yeah, it's pretty weird, man. It is pretty weird. Isn't that kind of weird? Ban for the FBI, have proof of that. Huh. I mean, is there anything new in this fucking stupid book? Or is it bullshit? Guys, listen, okay, let me explain something. Remember... Oh, that's cool. Fuck, what a weird situation. That's so weird. Remember that when Thien Ho says never before released information... Yeah, I'm not going to steal it on a live stream. That's how you get caught. See, here's the difference between me and most... I'm actually a good criminal when I want to do crime. Like, I did take a meth lab to Guitar Center, which was retarded. But normally I don't get caught. So I would show up at, like, an undisclosed location and take that book when no one's looking and had any idea. You'd have to have me under 24-hour surveillance. And then after that, I won't tell you where it came from. I shall never tell you my name. Because that will stop down my... You will try to slow down my collecting of books. So... Okay, so just because the media... No, just because Thien Ho says, oh, it's never before released information, that might just mean that the media's never reported on it. But we know all kinds of stuff the media never reported on. The media barely covered this fucking case. At all. They don't talk about anything. If you're a serious Eron's researcher, you can't learn anything new from reading the ABC, NBC articles and stuff. What I wanted to say earlier, too, if you go buy it, we'll send you a $20 bill in the mail, then you can read and we can make fun of the Ask Day Loser. A $20 bill won't cover it, though. And I shall never tell you my address because then you will try to slow down my collecting of books. A $20 bill will not pay for the book. But if you can buy... Hey, why don't you just... Instead of doing that, why don't you just buy the ebook and then send me a PDF? And then we'll read it. And we'll both have it. Then you don't have to send me money through the fucking U.S. mail system, which is retarded. The U.S. mail system, that is. Not this... I mean, you know. Just buy the PDF. It's like $14, I think, on Amazon or something. And then leak it. You know what you should do? You should buy the PDF on Amazon and then leak it for free. That would do more damage to the profit margins. Am I allowed to say all this stuff on YouTube? I'm kind of advocating criminal activity. Point is, okay, JK, LOL, YouTube mods, I don't mean any of this stuff. This is all hypothetical. If someone were to buy the PDF and then leak all of it for free on the Pirate Bay, that would do more damage to the profit margins of the assistant DA. Yeah, I mean, if you do that, seriously, I really want to read this book, and I don't want to pay them. So, if you can do that, it's what, how many pages? Like 400 pages? It might take you some time. I don't know how to convert ebooks to PDF like that you can just dump somewhere. But you probably know how to host a Pirate Bay upload, I think. Or a torrent for it. How's the lag going right now with you guys? I'm having horrible bit rates right now. I'm going to try closing some stuff and see if that helps. I don't know what this looks like right now. It might be kind of shitty for you guys. Okay. I'm getting bad connection right now. So let's see if we can do some stuff about that. It's so spotty. It's like 4 kilobytes. Okay. Are you kidding me? Oh, we had a connection drop there. Hopefully you guys get better services there. Okay, what I was going to say earlier is that when D'Angelo got arrested, the I don't remember who it was, somebody, I think it was the Sacramento Sheriff's Department or something, said that they found evidence to link him to the Visalia ransacker murder of Claude Snelling that was not fingerprints, but as good as fingerprints. And it was left at that. So we don't really know what that means. That could mean souvenirs or trophies from the Visalia ransacker spree, or it could mean the gun that killed Claude Snelling, and we would never know. Guys, I don't understand. I guess we've kind of figured out why they lied about the gun for the Maggiores. Isn't it ridiculous that the Sacramento court system said that they couldn't determine the caliber of the weapon used to kill the Maggiores? That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It's so dumb. Because there's a surplus of opportunities that they had to determine the caliber of that weapon. My assumption, my hypothesis, was that Sacramento didn't want to admit that the bullets that killed the Maggiores came from a Moroku, and there was only 4,500 Morokus ever made in history. And so, if they could link the Maggiore bullets to the Claude Snelling bullets, then it would be obvious that the Visalia ransacker was the East Area Rapist, because there's only 4,500 guns. Yeah, I know, and I got that information from 122675 originally. But maybe it's something like that, like where the firearm was found in D'Angelo's house. They are crack. Yeah. Guys, I'm getting such terrible streaming bit rates right now. It's insane. It's horrible. Mr. JSV, are you watching from the beginning of the stream, or are you watching at the present time? If you're watching from the present time, I want to show you the performance from today. If you're not watching from the present time, then you're going to see it. And you'll respond if you hear this, which would mean you're watching in real time. And so forth. Here, let me... here, just buy this. Buy this thing right here. And then leak it. What, you have to log in to Amazon? Okay. People versus the beep. Can they stop calling him that? Such a dumb fucking name, dude. People versus the bleep. So they have it on Kindle. Oh, this is James Huddle's book. Never mind. Oh, you can get Jim Huddle's book for free. But you have to have a Kindle Unlimited membership. So never mind. Do they have this in audio? But they don't have an audiobook. That's retarded. So they have it on Kindle. Is it possible to get it on Kindle? Used and new offers. Used. What is wrong with it? Put shit on Pirate Bay, people. Like, it's so fucking hard to put something on Pirate Bay. It's insane. Let's watch the East Area Rappist get killed again. It's fun.
They tried to make me bleed. Broke out of county jail cause they ain't got junk food. Them bitches took the laces from my goddamn shoes. They tried to take my ski mask. They tried to make me bleed. Guilty.
So that's classic. Okay, do you think this is the original Night Stalker? Let's see. Victimology would fit. Look at her. Long brown hair. Could be. Let's see. I don't know. Because she's stabbed. So, I really don't think... Wait a minute. I'm not convinced of any stabbing murders as being the original Night Stalker. Because stabbing is very kind of dangerous. You can slip. But maybe, I don't know. I mean, we don't know of any canonical stabbing crimes by the ONS. Or at least not murders. Left for work earlier that morning. Was shot to death outside his home by a burglar 6 months earlier. Okay, that's a little weird. Wait, who's this person? Her husband had been shot to death by a burglar. East of Sacramento. Brother-in-law's ex-wife lived in Pioneer. Only if you had... yeah, that could be him. That could be him. Yeah. I'm not, Wow, that's a crazy photo that you have of D'Angelo on there in 1967. So that's what he looked like as the original Night Stalker. That's like a picture of the original Night Stalker. Because the timeline... We have another one from 1981 where he's painting with Jim Huddle. Jim Huddle is awesome for taking all these pictures of the ONS. And you can tell that D'Angelo hates it because every time he gets him on video... I mean, Jim Huddle's always running around filming him. D'Angelo probably couldn't stand him. And I know that he actually stopped hanging out with him. They were on a boat. Yeah, he always carried a knife, but that doesn't mean that he's... I mean, you know, it's possible, man. I don't fucking know at this point. Anything goes. That's why I need the DNA. I just need that DNA. Yeah, anything goes. He could have done fucking anything at this point. I really don't know. We're having the worst connection problems this evening. It's atrocious. Sorry. I don't know what you... I'm every time the connection drops out, you guys, I just don't say anything. So don't worry, you're not missing anything during those connection drops. I'm just trying to fight with the internet here. Amazon Web Services is probably down again or something. It fucks everything up in the whole country. Because some geniuses at the NSA were like, let's put all web traffic on 3 servers. Like, you guys are so dumb. Then we can monitor it. It's like, no, you can't. No, you can't. That's why I'm not worried about surveillance. They can't do that. It's retarded. But what they did do is they put all web traffic through the same 3 servers to make us think that they can monitor everything, and now they can't even maintain those 3 servers. So everything goes down all the time. It's retarded. Yeah, I mean, that looks like ONS a little bit. Not gonna lie. What was she bound with? Was she bound? Were the bindings taken? 1987. No DNA, no rape or anything like that? Let's see. The body was found. It's a correctional officer. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Because... Oh, shit, man. Not been determined, but she's been stabbed several... You know what? Honestly, yeah, that could be him. Stupid. The husband was not shot. This is a different person. I just read that wrong because I don't know how to English. Yeah, I mean, I see the part about the sock gag. That's a common gag, though. It could be him. Anything after 1986, there might just not be DNA. Because he knows that DNA is going to be used, and he just changes it up. I don't even fucking know anymore, but you know what? She does look like Janelle Cruz a little bit. Doesn't she? She has the look of an East Area rapist victim about her. For sure. She looks like an EAR victim. Never captured, never anything, like, who did this, you know? And is a correctional officer at Folsom Prison. Yeah, that could be him. That could totally be him. You know, he's getting revenge on the police force and stuff like that, because he being fired as a police officer fucked him up. So, yeah, that could very well be him. If that's him, then it changes everything I think I believe about knife killings. I mean, you're right. You know, D'Angelo carried a knife to all the crime scenes. And then he also could have just changed it up because he didn't want it to get linked to the the bludgeoning murders. Who knows? But that offender's never been identified. There's no DNA. There's no any of that stuff. Are you buying the book now?
You had to vape. You want to come to my stream? I love you. I beat her soon.
I don't think there's going to be any useful info in that book, honestly. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I'm going to check anyway, if I can. It's probably a selling point. My guess is the claim that there's a bunch of unreleased info in there just means shit that ABC News never reported on. But if you read the pro boards heavily like I do, you know a lot more about that case than ABC News could ever hope to know. And the only thing TMZ knows is that he has a small penis, which is valuable information in many ways. Not as a fucking, but it's going to allow us to start eliminating EAR crimes. But here's the other thing. You know what I think would be really solid proof for your hypothesis that there's more than one EAR operating together? Maybe like a John and Joe D'Angelo kind of situation, is if you have so many overlapping MO factors that it has to be an EAR crime, except the offender has an average penis. That would be groundbreaking. Because it would mean that the MO is super specific. We know it's the same guy or the same, entity, same unit. But then the penis size would rule out one offender. In which case, then there would have to be 2 EARs. I think. Anything fucking goes in this case anymore. I don't know. But I'm not... That's somewhat relative witness observation. That's true, but D'Angelo has, such a notably small penis. It's very uncommon that someone has that. He has an actual medical micropenis. So it's very obvious, I would think, that any victim if there's a victim that says his penis was even remotely normally sized, it can't be D'Angelo. And that information was confirmed by other people before Thien Ho. But to have it come from the assistant DA like that, did the cops give him an erection? I don't know. I don't think so. Who knows, man? Maybe. They might not talk about doing that. It would make sense from a prosecutorial standpoint if they did, yeah. And I know everyone's, there's all these third graders in the class. They're like, but we're being serious. This is serious, this is relevant stuff. They didn't? Well, I mean, maybe they did. And anyway, it wouldn't matter. If his penis is actually the size of a pinky tip, like this, and smaller than the circumference of a dime, you can pretty much extrapolate the erect size of that. And it's not going to be... I think it can, but I think that it means that if we see an EAR crime with all these other overlapping MO factors and then also an average penis, then it means there's 2 EARs. Which isn't... It's not outside the realm of possibility. It's probably just D'Angelo because it's such a specific set of paraphilias that, how would you get someone to go along with that? You're like, you guys want to see the hottest thing ever? It's like, what? Have you ever seen this neighborhood layout? I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, is the witness going to describe something as an average size penis that's literally smaller than my pinky? Probably not. Maybe. I think that there's some canonical EAR crimes that aren't EAR. Maybe. But that's the good... Like, his MO during the EAR phase, at least, was so specific that it's, like, really identifiable. Really? You think so? Yeah, but sometimes you think everything's the EAR. You know. A little bit. It's, they might have given... from a prosecutorial standpoint, it makes sense to photograph the suspect or the defendant. It makes sense to photograph the defendant with an erection. Because when you go into court and you want to say, okay, is this the guy's penis? You're going to be like... You're prosecuting sex crimes, right? So during the commission of those sex crimes, he mostly had a boner. And so witnesses are going to remember the boner. They're not going to remember, like, and there were some times where he couldn't fully maintain erection. I get it, you know. But, like, most times, witnesses are describing his boner, not his regular penis. I think that's sexual assault. Is it? Are you fucking serious? That would be considered sexual assault to show him a picture of, like, someone with their head caved in and then he, like, gets a boner? Because we all know that's what we saw Sanchez and Domingo. He wanked it at that crime scene, guys. Because I don't think that is there seminal fluid inside Sherry Domingo, or is it only from the bedspread? It appears to be only from the bedspread. If it's only from the bedspread, he wanked it at that crime scene, which means he gets off to dead bodies. So show him a fucking something like that, and then he'll be like, boing, and then you can take a picture. They had a warrant. You could argue by that same argument that it's like it's a sexual assault to take pictures of him, but it's not. They had a warrant for that. They specifically they filed a motion and obtained a warrant to photograph his genitalia, in this case. If it has no evidentiary value, then it's fucking completely irrelevant. And it's just people just trying to make... It's just TMZ trying to make money. Which I don't care about that shit. That's stupid. You know what's crazy? Think about this, right? That's just photographing, not stimulate. Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But then what evidentiary value does it have in court? I feel like in court you need to have a picture of the boner. I know this sounds graphic, you guys, but let's be real here. And people are like... You know what's crazy? Is when people, like, clown on D'Angelo's micropenis, and it's like... Yeah, but look at the damage, you know? So it's almost like offensive to victims. To be like, oh, this guy has a small penis. It's like, yeah, but he also, like, traumatized people with that. It doesn't really just have small dicks. Probably true, yeah, but D'Angelo had a medical micropenis. There's a difference. There's a difference between having small genitalia and having an actual medically diagnosed micropenis, and D'Angelo had that. Or had he's still alive, obviously, which is surprising. Maybe there's no new information in this fucking book. It's very possible. They're so selective with what they'll talk about, it's disturbing. You know. I wonder why they... let's say that they already... fuck. I don't think they already knew. I just think they weren't trying that hard to find him. And then eventually, like, one guy who was just obsessed with the case, Paul Holes, whatever, just was in a position to run stuff that everyone else was already telling them to run for years. We saw it on pro boards. The idea of capturing neurons with investigative genetic genealogy was not a new idea made up by Paul Holes. That's bullshit. That's a lie. And they, oh my god, they said it in an interview. I was reading something, and they were like, yes, then Paul Holes had this idea to do this. It's like, no, he didn't. Everyone on pro board said that first. Amazon customer. Oh, smart. Let's see what they say. Why did I not think of this? And why the fuck do I need to have an account? Are you serious? Do I have to have an account to read the reviews? Are you serious right now? Hold on. That's so annoying. I think I have an Amazon account. I just don't remember how to get into it. That's the problem. People versus the bleep. Let's see what's going on. People versus the beep. Reviews. About the author. Oh, yeah, I can read them. Here we go. I have followed this case for years and have consumed just about every piece of information that is publicly available. I got into the case because I was listening to a podcast called Criminology that covered the Iran's case, and he was literally arrested while they were recording like episode 9 or something. Needless to say, from that point, I was terrified but glued. I have been a true crime consumer since I was a kid, and this case by far is the most insane, complex, and terrifying case I've ever seen. Totally agree. First of all, the book, like many concerning this case, takes way too much time to discuss other crimes by other serial killers and convicted criminals. That's fucking annoying. It's clear that nobody intimately involved with the prosecution of this book is legally allowed to discuss certain aspects of it. I blame Anne-Marie Schubert. So like other books, it gets incredibly padded with contextual information about other crimes that have nothing to do with Iran's. I skimmed a lot of it because of this. Once he got back on track about relevant information, I paid attention, but I don't need to hear about previous crimes the author has tried, other killers that lived in California, or any of the other unnecessary information or padding that was included in this. That's fucking really annoying. Secondly, the author takes a lot of time to tell his own personal backstory, gay, which I don't have an issue with at face value, but ultimately it also serves as padding. Totally agree. It's harsh, but the audience that will read this book largely is not that interested in his story, especially when the prologue teased a lot of information about JJD, his house, what they found in it, what the arrest looked like. While some of that stuff is ultimately in there, it's all largely confirmation of stuff the community already knew. That's annoying. People will be interested in buying this book for a reason, and it flat out does not deliver. That's very annoying. Okay, you changed my mind. The actual narrative of how the case was prosecuted is somewhat interesting, but it's all stuff the true crime community either knew about or inferred already. JJD crapping himself during his 1979 arrest was interesting. Yeah, that's interesting too. The pubic hair thing was bizarre. It was also interesting to hear about JJD's teenage years breaking into garages and houses, but this has all been discussed elsewhere, though with less detail. There is a bit of a false tease where the author shows books found in JJD's house, only to reveal that his daughter had read about O.J. Simpson and the Iceman at some point. No confirmation whatsoever that JJD himself kept up with his own crimes, what they found on his phone or computer, anything at all that helps us understand this monster. I understand that they found hardly anything, and once again, I strongly believe for some reason that Sacramento and specifically Schubert signed some type of deal to not disclose information, but I mean, really? You can't provide us with anything about the least talked about and arguably most interesting aspect of the case. The whole tale of his arrest and interrogation has essentially been discussed in other places. There's a little more background maybe, but it goes down exactly how you'd think it did. If you're buying the book for that reason, don't bother. The author kind of comes off as braggadocious at times, but it does seem, according to his account of the story, that he did absolutely everything in his power to respect and take care of the victims during the pretrial and trial process. That should be commended. Yeah, but we don't care about that. I do think that seemed to be a priority for Sacramento, Thean, and everyone involved in locking up D'Angelo, and I don't want that getting lost in my otherwise very critical review. Thank you for this fucking review, though. Probably the most aggravating aspect of this entire book to me is that he claims the Visalia ransacker never struck in Visalia again after a composite sketch went public. Yeah, that's not true at all. He does not mention Donna Richmond, who was kidnapped and murdered in nearby Exeter right before JJD started making moves to leave the area and go back to Sacramento. He also does not mention Jennifer Armour, who was murdered under similar circumstances. There is no guarantee that JJD did either crime, but the circumstantial evidence is absolutely staggering, and no matter what the Tulare County says, Oscar Clifton went to prison for someone else's crime, and it deserves discussion. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. To not mention it whatsoever is ridiculous to me. I believe it's largely because Sacramento and the rest of the state want to pretend that never happened and move on from the whole, oops, we should have noticed that Irons equals VR and we could have caught him back in the 70s thing. Yeah, I totally fucking agree with that. Because it's ugly and demonstrates the extreme investigative negligence that allowed D'Angelo to escape justice for 40 years. The author makes sure to mention that Ken Clark thought he was the Visalia ransacker, but nothing about the other important people who made this argument back in the 70s, only to be told by Sacramento that they were told that they were full of crap and to go back to Visalia. In summary, the tiny tidbits of new information that are in there are not worth buying this book. It'll get out in forums anyway eventually, so just look for it there. If this is your first time interacting with this case, I'd recommend watching the available documentaries and podcasts prior to D'Angelo's arrest first and engrossing yourself in the case. I recommend the Criminology podcast as a starting point. Then the HLN series Unmasking a Killer. I have issues with I'll Be Gone in the Dark, but it's also a fine starting point. I also highly recommend anything that Paige St. John of the LA Times has written about this case. Her podcast, Man in the Window, is fantastic and provides information you will not find anywhere else. I also urge everyone reading this review to check out the Donna Joe Richmond case, blah, 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 blah. Damn. So, I think that what they mean by saying insider information... Oh, fuck. Hold on. Here we go. Here's an exclusive scoop no one knows about that's not in the book. Kenny Clark told a retired deputy who worked the EBR case that JJD had a photo of himself on Santa's lap. It said something like, "You've never been a good boy," written on the back. Or, "You've been a good boy," written... What the fuck? JJD killed Donna Richmond 100%. Spoke with a witness who was with JJD on that day. Cops refused to take their statement, including Paul Holes. Damn. Is the EBR the early bird rapist? Jesus. What a dirtbag. Yeah, I think what they mean by saying new information is like stuff that hasn't been reported in the mainstream in the mainstream news cycle, which is garbage. Anyway, it's total fucking garbage. Because Pro Boards was really, if you read through the Pro Boards, you'll learn so much about this case that never got talked about in the media, ever. And yeah, we could have captured him if they had thoroughly investigated the Visalia ransacker angle, he probably would have been caught. So. Yeah. The only, I have an issue with, because you know how 122675 claims that they looked at D'Angelo's photo before he was arrested and ruled him out? Or they looked at him? If that was true, they should have known that he's a perfect, an incredible match for the composites. He really is. People don't understand what a composite sketch is supposed to do. They think if it doesn't look exactly like the person, then it's not a match. But that's not the case. Look at, dude, all of those composites are really good. That's why it's important to discuss the cover-up, all the other victims, and his prolific crimes to bring attention. It's not going to bring attention, though. Once he got arrested, nobody fucking cares. That's the crazy part. Nobody cares. We're 10 people that care. But post something on Pro Boards, you'll get 2 responses in 6 months. Everybody just left. They were like, "Oh, it's done." And that's not good, I don't think. But the nice thing about that is it does mean that us actual historical researchers of this case, if they ever make a Netflix documentary, they might come to us and be like, "Hey, can you come?" Which is cool, because then we can actually talk about real shit. Because they silenced the truth, banned from Reddit, no one knows. Yeah. Well, I found all your work before. I don't remember where exactly. I think it was on Pro Boards. I don't know how I heard about you. Somewhere. It was Pro Boards or something. I guess not Reddit. Yeah, Reddit's garbage. Reddit's not posting anything about this. It's so weird. This whole thing is so fucking weird. Can we just watch that video of EAR getting sniped in the head on a loop? That shit's so funny. Let's see what's going on here. Eurons. Subreddit. Huh. Interesting excerpt from an article about the new book. This all feels rather oddly specific. Question is, do you believe there are more victims out there? And Thien Ho says, I do. His last known crime was the 1986 murder of Janelle Cruz in Orange County. People ask me, why did he stop in 1986? And my answer is, how do you know he stopped in 1986? There was a 3-year period from 1986 to 1989 when he was living in LA that we're not sure exactly where he was and what he was doing. And he was already beginning to evolve as a killer. So what's to say he didn't continue to kill his victims, but he discarded the bodies somewhere that we never found? Okay, I'll take that a step further. What's to say that he didn't continue killing and just leave the bodies where they were, but he killed them with things... this is why I'm more open to a lot of these non-canonicals now. The one you just sent about... What was that thing? Yeah. I agree. I mean, I like to make fun of you too and say that fucking you think EAR did everything, but I know that's not really what you think, and I know that, like, okay, what's her name? What's this lady's name? Gloria Schaumler. Like, I'm way more open to the possibility that he's doing stabbing kills at this point. So if they're saying, oh, well, he discarded the bodies somewhere that we never found, what if he just didn't leave his DNA at the crime scene? You would have no fucking clue. That's the only reason we're able to connect a lot of those ONS crimes. So, yeah, that's totally... I don't even think he stopped either. Why is the penis thing the biggest headline to come out of this? And nobody's doing what they're supposed to do with that information. People are fucking so... Like, it's like all TMZ culture. It's like, oh, he's a small penis. It's like, no, use that information and go back through the record and figure out what the fuck is not him. If anything. I agree. I don't think he's the Zodiac. He's probably not the Zodiac. I'm betting on Arthur Lee Allen on that one. For sure. Because there's too much on Allen. Including the whole Ralph Spinelli thing. Which is major as fuck. But that doesn't mean that he didn't do other crimes. So many witnesses and victims. Yeah. Do you have any... you have lots of composites. You know what I think you should do? That maybe would be a good idea for a page on your site? Is do a gallery of composite sketches from the other crimes. Like all the non-canonical stuff that you bring up. A family member eventually believed JJD was the... yeah. I mean, maybe. And maybe he was. I don't know. I don't think so. But it's I'm not saying it's impossible. At all. I just... Yep. Yep.
I love you.
I love you. You want to come to my show?
I don't know.
Okay. It's not impossible, for sure. I just don't think it's like the most likely chain of events.
Hi.
The thing is, Zodiac is too publicity hungry, and D'Angelo is the opposite. D'Angelo does not want to be famous. You can see it by his constantly shifting modus operandi and his insatiable desire to hide which crimes are his. I don't think. And that he won't talk. Like, he's been arrested and he won't talk. I think he just doesn't want to be famous. And Zodiac wanted to be famous as fuck. Can you show this page on your video has best composite? Okay, let's see. Yeah, that looks like him too, I agree. Oh, the Tustin. You know what's crazy? I'm so close to Tustin that I could go to some of these places and take a look around. For you. Where's the composite on here? I know it's at the headline on the top, but... That's EAR Rancho Cordova, EAR Citrus Heights, Maggiore, Danville, Manuel Bethune. I mean, dude, what the fuck? So this guy just, like, ran around all fucking day just killing everyone all day and night every single fucking day? Like, what the fuck, man? That's so weird. What in the hell is going on here? Yeah, I'm about to put it on right now. Here we go. Momento Desierto. Yeah, I mean, that looks like him to me. It really does, because look at the nose. It's not bad. I don't mind that one at all for him. And people are like, oh, it doesn't look like him. Oh, it's like, no, you're missing how these things work. You gotta look at... How, like, what is the kind of that shape of the nose, like the general, like, look at each feature individually and describe it in your head, and you'll see all kinds of consistencies in these composites that are, yeah, it looks like him. It does look like him. For sure. You should have a gallery of the crimes, of the composites from non-canonical crimes. And then we can look at all those things. There was a guy who made videos stealing all your stuff on Lisk, and they got 20,000 YouTube subs. Yeah, those people are garbage. That's just the same bullshit. People trying to profit off murder. Just let them be fucking garbage. They probably have miserable lives. You know? Just let them be miserable. They're like, oh, the money will help me. I'm going to spend it all on weed and fucking crack cocaine. And it's like, yeah, I bet your life is really fun. They're like, yeah, I sell fucking Manscape and fucking smoke pot all day long. And remember ONS prowling in Tustin, May 5th, 1986, right before Cruise with a ski mask. Damn. I gotta go there then. I live close. I can go to Tustin. That'd be fun. Because I can look at an area and tell you if it's like EAR. And have you seen Zodiac Letter the day after Cruise? 86. Is it the one from the highway murders? Dude, I don't fucking know. I just don't know. It's just so much information. It's information overload, and I really just don't know. I really ultimately can't say one way or another with conviction and be like, yes, it's this, unless there's a DNA profile. And I'm open to like all possibilities. No, it should be at the end of the Tustin page. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm going to read that article tonight. The Tustin Cat, 1962. Tustin Cat. All of them could be him. I don't know. That's the crazy thing. It's just we're at the point now where like every single like you could look in fucking New York. It is the freeway. Yeah, that's what I thought it was because 86 Zodiac Letter. That's the only one I knew of. God, it looks like him. It really does look like his writing a little bit in certain areas. But it's also been altered. It's not the standard Zodiac writing. The crazy thing is, this crime did happen. Oh, up by Sacramento. Dude, I don't fucking know anymore. That's the thing. I just, without full profile DNA, it's so hard to say. At least credibly, like to be like, yes, that's him. I just don't know. But I'm open to everything. You could look in New York and find crimes that might be him. I mean, how long does it take to fly to New York? You could fly to New York. No problem. Especially back then, like pre 9/11, you could just walk, like look at D.B. Cooper. He just got on a plane. His name was Dan Cooper. It's not his fucking real name, obviously. If you flew... Okay, view control fine. If you flew to New York in 1988 and used the name Jack Hendricks or something stupid like that, the cops in the modern day research investigative departments would have no fucking idea that that was the same person. They wouldn't ever find it. Yeah. Yeah, but everything could be him, especially if you're taking into consideration the alteration of the modus operandi. It could be anything. We don't know. So, okay, so D'Angelo could have got on an airplane in 1989 using the name Jim Gillianson's, and we would never find a record of that. Yeah, and you're right. That is in ONS territory, then compared to EAR dates. You're right. That's not... Oh, fuck. The bit rates are fucked again. There's just no way to know. What up?
What up? Did you watch that documentary?
No, I couldn't find it. Would you call it the K-Man murders? There's no such thing. You gotta find out the actual name of it. It's not K-Man murders. Not accurate. I want to show you. I'll show you later. It's a funny video from my...
Is it like the big
Broken. It's fucking broken. Been trying to bring attention to this, so appreciate you paying attention. Yeah, for sure. Like, but you have to remember that the problem is that it could be anything at this point. We have no fucking clue anymore. And I know that's basically the point that you're making. But if you compare it to EAR dates and you get overlaps there, then that's compelling. Definitely compelling. However, D'Angelo could have flown to New York. D'Angelo could have flown to New York under the name Jilly Jixon, and we would never find that plane. So it could be anything, really, and I'm open to it. We know he was a fucking... Dude, nobody stops having sex for fucking 30 years. And to him, murder is sex. What, he became a priest? No. He didn't get any better. So I think he probably did keep killing. You're probably right. He probably did all kinds of shit that we don't know about. But you're just not going to get too much attention. You're only going to get a select group of just obsessive Asperger people who, like me, who are like, oh, let's look at this heavily. It's a trip, man. Fucking... Oh, did you see this, by the way? Look at this colorized Maggior composite I made. Isn't that sick? Did I unveil this yet on the show? Look at that. I'll bring you a close-up to it. Oh, shit. Oh, and check out this picture. I think we could do... Anyway. I was going to put... I have the D'Angelo Exeter police photo in color. Do you want that? Does anyone want the D'Angelo Exeter photo in color? Does anyone care? I have it in true to life color. Send it to Quentin. Joey D. Junk Food Joey in color. And then we're going to close out. Because at this point, it's like everything is fucking him. Here you go, if you want this one. Color. Can you see? What's going on here? Ah! What is wrong with this app? Check out this comp. Okay, let's see it. What the fuck is going on here? Alright, this is a color one. So I guess the background was yellow that day. Interesting. Muy interesante. Let's close that out. So then you have the color one. You could screenshot that if you want. Whoops. Oh, by golly. Stephen Depew. Huh. Wow. Yep. You come here. The EMR. He was the EMR, yeah, for sure. Had to be the EMR. What'd you say?
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you too. I love you. Good job. I'll be there in a minute. It's okay.
EMR has got to be him. And I don't say that shit lightly, but here's the thing. EMR just stops in 1976 and never does anything again. It's obviously D'Angelo. And the composite is identical to all the EAR composites. It's retarded. What's the conditions of this murder? Rancho Cordova. Let's see. Sometime between Friday evening, unknown persons entered through a backyard gate and unlocked garage door to the... Yeah, that's him. Yeah, I think it's him. After prying open the door, entering from the garage into the kitchen, the thieves virtually destroyed everything in the house. A pickup truck was pried into and over $1,000 worth of... Yes, this is him. What I can't understand is why every lamp in the house and all the appliances were demolished. Even the freezer door was left open. All the food inside spoiled. Every appliance was smashed and hardly a piece of food. Yes, that's him. Why do they think it's two people? The culprits had drank liquor in the home and had gone through all the empty cabinets. Yes, that's definitely him. For sure is him. I think someone must have seen my tool layout when the garage door was open. Yeah, definitely is him. How did they kill him? Let's see. Cool it, man. Okay, a stabbing occurred. Oh, interesting. Oh my god. You know what? Fuck it. Everything's D'Angelo. That's crazy. Wow. He must have followed them from the mall in Citrus Heights. They were pulled over. Let's see. Oh, they were pulled over. Huh. Interessante. That's him with a wig, yeah. The mustache is a little interesting, though. Created these composites, never released to the public. She said she saw the killer. She didn't see the killers. One of them has a mustache and the other one doesn't. And he clearly has a wig on. Yep, that's him. The victim's sister came out and we helped her get a composite section. We're getting all these years. How come one composite has a mustache and the other one doesn't? The article says that there are culprits, but then the witness says that there was a killer. Look, at the end of the day, the ransacking is obviously Junk Food Joey. Everything from the entry method to the ransacking is Junk Food Joey to a T. Junk Food Joey liked to enter houses by essentially... Yeah, that's EMR telling him. He essentially would enter through like rooms that were connected to garages and then enter the... Oh, that ransacking was a burglary separate to the murder. Man, I don't fucking know. Oh, okay. Well, the ransacking's him. Totally is him. It appears that separate groups of culprits. No, I don't buy that. Why the fuck would anyone leave the freezer open and dump the medicine? No, that's Junk Food Joey. Weird. Super weird. Well, everybody, all right, time to close out. The only thing I want to do is play the East Area Rappist one more time, and then I'm going to end the stream. So, here we go. What is going on here? Why is it doing that?
Jail cause they ain't got junk food. Them bitches took the laces from my goddamn shoes. They tried to take my ski mask, they tried to make me plead guilty to the crimes in the first degree. You're never gonna catch me, you dumb fuckers. I'm a
forgot. I just wanted to point everyone. So let's do something funny here, and then we actually are going to end. It's Friday Night Live though, so hold on.
Who is there? Murder Inc?
Yeah, and Mr. JSV. You. No. Murder Inc. My wife says hi. Okay. Then I come out in a little bit. What you say? Okay. So when I shot the video of the East Area Rappists getting sniped in the head, I put a bunch of pillows and blankets on the floor because it was important to me to really get that headshot scene accurate. I think I even tried to like this, like more realism. We're gonna watch it in slow-mo and see if we can see anything interesting here. Let's put the speed down really low. Let's watch it like 50%. See what happens. What is going on? Let's see if we can see this here. Broke out account. You can't see shit. What the fuck? Why does it do this? So weird. Rappist. Like fucking Darth Vader version. Anyway, I love that gunshot part. That's fucking classic. So that's the last time that we're gonna have the East Area Rappists on the show. If you have too many bits, it's not funny anymore. So I think one of them getting raided and one of them getting sniped is good enough. With that being said,